Well, the Indiana General Assembly will convene in just a few weeks, and one of the key issues legislators will be asked to tackle is continued funding for early childhood education. A coalition of state business, civic, and philanthropic leaders has unveiled a new name for their advocacy efforts to strengthen Indiana's pre-K program. Early Education Works will encourage lawmakers to invest in Indiana's existing pre-K programs while taking additional steps to enhance the quality, affordability, and capacity of the state's entire early education sector. And for more on those efforts, pleased as always to be joined by United Way of Central Indiana President and CEO Ann Murtlow. Ann, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Gary.
Let's talk about this. You got a new name. These are efforts that you and others have really put a lot of effort into and has been gaining momentum for the past several years. Talk about the need for this new name and really what it's all about.
Absolutely. Well, formerly, this was known as All In for Pre-K Coalition, which formed about 4 years ago. Early Education Works is now a growing collaboration of 40 plus state and local chambers of commerce, employers, academia, philanthropic organizations, nonprofit, and early child care and education experts, and it's led by United Way of Central Indiana. And as we have done in the past, we are advocating for young children at a critical development stage, basically from birth to 5, who need and deserve access to high quality early education in order to be successful in their later education and ultimately in life, but also advocating for low-income parents, caregivers, and families who stand to benefit from early childhood programs by allowing them to be active in Indiana's workforce. So in 2017, the General Assembly voted to expand Indiana's pre-K program for low-income children with an investment of $22 million a year. But today, we want to continue that momentum to sustain and strengthen Indiana's commitment to early childhood education for 2021 and beyond. And there could not be a more important time to do it, given the economic effects of this pandemic.
But make the business case, Ann, if you will. This has become such an important issue in the business community and has been for the past several years. Why is it such really a hot button issue for businesses all over the state of Indiana?
Well, because businesses need employees to sustain and to grow. And we also need access to employees to be able to recruit new businesses here to Indiana. So the economic toll of a child care crisis is really why this is an imperative at the government level, why it needs to be and is at the business level, and also at the nonprofit level. So if you think about it, early childhood education really delivers a strong return on investment to the state, with every dollar invested generating at least $4 in reduced spending and higher lifetime earnings. If you think about it, Indiana loses nearly $1.1 billion in economic activity every year due to child care related absenteeism and turnover. Those disruptions cost the state an additional about $120 million in tax revenue annually. And employers also have direct costs from child care disruptions that total nearly $1.8 billion annually. So it is an economic imperative for parents and for the success of families, and it is also imperative for the children who need that great early start in order to be successful as adults later on.
Yeah, and staggering numbers, and as you mentioned a moment ago, really underscored in the wake of the pandemic. Talk about your agenda as you look at this budget writing, very important session of the Indiana General Assembly. Give us a couple of key points on your agenda.
Absolutely. Well, as I said, I really do think that this is both a short-term and a long-term investment that is worthwhile for the state. So we will, in addition to advocating to expand Indiana's On My Way pre-K program to serve more children from low-income households across the state, we will be looking for 5 other things. And that is to increase provider participation and advancement in paths to quality, which is the state's rating system, while tying the state's rating system to clearly defined learning outcomes. To establish an integrated data system to report on the supply and demand of early childhood education systems across state agencies, to basically incentivize the creation of provider networks and other shared services to drive the economies of scale required to sustain low-margin early childhood education providers. to strategically invest existing child care and development fund dollars to reduce market volatility and stabilize a critical supply of high quality care in communities statewide while maintaining family choice, which is very important. And then investing in new and existing preparation pathways and retention strategies to efficiently build and maintain the caliber and supply of workforce required to meet demands of this high value industry, which is an employer in and of itself.
Ann Murtlow, United Way of Central Indiana, President and CEO, a leader in early education works. A lot of folks, PNC among them, involved with this initiative. Very important budget writing session of the General Assembly. Ann, thanks for joining us. I know we'll be talking more about this during the session. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Take care.